Hey fans, it's me Aaron for a comic show. This week is the beginning of the Secret War tie-ins, crossovers, those books that I've been really excited about, that I read some ahead of time and liked them. These kingdoms that kind of represent story arcs that were great in the past. So you got that nostalgic stuff, but you have these kingdoms, these fiefdoms that Doom lords over. The first two issues of Secret Wars I loved, especially the second issue. It was just beautiful. It was just fun and smart and crazy, and just I'm really digging Secret Wars. Here's the tie-ins. This one, Deadpool Secret Wars. I laughed a lot. This is Cullen Bunn, who wrote some of the Deadpool miniseries. He didn't write the main series of Deadpool, that was the Posehn and Duggan ones, but this is where that comes from, which is when Deadpool went back to the 70s, 80s, when he had the DP on his chest and he hung out and did cocaine and all that stuff. That's this Deadpool. And this was fun. This is him back in Secret Wars, and this is like the real story of Secret Wars. And yes, it's all nostalgic and retro here. There is something at the end that kind of syncs it up to now, and the backup story was extra fun. It was like the extra round, and it had the Rumble in East St. Louis, which, you know, I used to live in St. Louis, so that was pretty funny to me. And Dupe is in there with Deadpool and Howard the Duck. So if that kind of stuff does something for you, you have to get this Deadpool Secret Wars, because it was just fun. And look at this action figure variant cover. It's actually an action figure of a character that's in the book. And I like the little masking tape Secret Wars. Moving on to Battleworld. It's an anthology type mini. It was also a lot of fun. You see Howard the Duck on the cover of this too. The first story is Soldier Supreme, where you have like a Punisher Doctor Strange, and he's freaking badass. It's way better than Frankencastle. Not that I didn't like Frankencastle. And he goes against the Infernal Four, which is kind of like, you know, the Fantastic Four, and that Fantastic Four that took over in the 90s, where it was Ghost Rider, Punisher, Spider-Man, Hulk, and that was just a great story. I really enjoyed it. It's Joshua Williamson from Nailbiter and from Birthright. And then you get MODOK Madness in the back, which was also fun. And for whatever reason, Black Panther is on the cover. He's not in the book, but cool. We get a Black Panther action figure cover. It looks great, but he wasn't in the issue. Same with Ultimate End. You get Miles Morales, which is a much in-demand character to see as an action figure. That's pretty cool, but he's not in this first issue of Ultimate End. And this was a bittersweet thing. You know, you have like the traditional trade dress of the Ultimates. You have the fathers, the two dads of the Ultimate Universe, Bendis and Bagley, back from who, you know, did Ultimate Spider-Man at the beginning for a huge run together. And this is the 610, 616 Manhattans are right up against each other. And from the very start, this isn't a spoiler, but from the very start, our Spider-Man's just freaking pissed that everyone knows he's Peter Parker, because in that universe, in the Ultimate Universe, Spider-Man was killed, and everyone knew after he was dead that he was Peter Parker. But you get a lot of cool stuff. You have Tony and Tony fighting each other. They hate each other. They just hate each other. It's kind of cool. Like, which I've always said that Tony Stark is his own archenemy. He doesn't need a archenemy villain, because he is so self-destructive that that's the role he fills. And in this, it was perfect. So if you ever liked Ultimate, this is their swan song, but is done in a way that's super cool, super respectful, because it's the people that brought them into this world. And, you know, like my mom always said, I brought you into this world and I can take you out of it. So whatever, get it. It's awesome. Planet Hulk, this is Humphreys. This opened so fun. It's all the Hulks versus all the Thors. And it was fun. You know, we've had Hulk versus Thor all the way back to Avengers 1, but this is all the Hulks versus all the Thors. And Greenland, which was at the top of the Battleworld map, is actually the Greenland of the Hulks. And we get a awesome Gladiator Captain America. Whereas Planet Hulk was a Gladiator Hulk, this is a Gladiator Captain America with Devil Dinosaur. So you have Captain America in this Gladiator costume with armor and whatnot, riding a red Tyrannosaurus. I mean, what isn't to like there? It was freaking sweet. I loved that first issue. Spider-Verse, again, another kingdom of the Secret Wars, because I guess Doom had a sweet spot for all these great crossover stories that we like. So this what this one is. And it is heavy on Spider-Gwen and her sidekick Spider-Ham. But as you see from the cover, all the other Spider-Men that stood out through, Spider-Men and women that stood out through the Spider-Verse crossover are represented here. And I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. Mike Costa is a great writer, and anytime I can get more Spider-Gwen, and I do like that they seem to be making Spider-Ham like her sidekick. Like that's her spirit animal or something. He's just there all the time. And finally for Battleworld for Secret Wars is Master of Kung Fu. This is Blackman from Elektra and those Star Wars books you probably liked. And this is the Drunken Master. Shang-Chi, Drunken Master taking on all these other characters we know from the Marvel Universe that do all that kind of martial arts stuff. All the way up to and including, you know, the big deal stuff from the Brubaker and Fraction Iron Fist run. It has elements of everything, and it was fun. It was a great story. And your dose of regularness for the regular Marvel Universe is this Daredevil 15.1, and what it is kind of like a love letter to Daredevil, a love letter to Matt Murdock. It's 3 different Daredevil stories done by great creators. Majorly Mark Waid and Sam Nee, the artist who co-writes it. And you have a Guggenheim story as well. But if you like Daredevil, if you want a sample of Daredevil, if you like Daredevil on Netflix, get this issue. You don't have to read anything before it. You don't have to read anything after it. If you are reading Waid's run, it's cool, it fits, it's neat. So get it, seriously. They should have had it you know, like a month or so ago when it came out on Netflix. But hey, better late than never. And Star Wars 6, it was so good. Like the little kid me was so thrilled, like ecstatic. Like the whole issue is like Boba Fett, Boba Fett, Boba Fett. Like where? Almost every page. And Boba Fett says more in this issue in like 2 pages than he is like both movies, or all 3 movies if you include the first movie that was retrofit with him there, but I don't include that. But lots of Boba Fett, and it ends with Luke and Boba Fett are going to. I say this because this is the cover of the next issue. Issue 6 was listed as Luke Skywalker versus Boba Fett. This site is Boba Fett's site. He's taking on Luke Skywalker. That is awesome. I cannot wait. So lots of payoff with Star Wars for people that have hung around because, I don't know, Boba Fett's awesome, right? Convergence 7. This is starting with issue 6. It was characters from our universe, you know, the one we live in, you know, the New 52 universe. And all the characters of nostalgia from those domes all fighting each other together. It was what we were advertised. You know, like the first 5 issues of Convergence, you know, if we had bought it on eBay, we could have said like, return item not as described. You described it as this stuff, and then it was all just New 52 Earth 2 fighting Warlord and Skitaris and Diamos and whatever the hell. This, on the other hand, was mindless violence, pretty much. They want to live, so I guess that's not necessarily mindless. You know, you want to live, it's an instinct. But all these characters punching each other in the face, and I enjoyed that. There's a little like slip up with Guy Gardner between last issue 6, where Guy Gardner's a Red Lantern, you know, with his mustache, but that kind of burnt off, and he lost the Red Lantern, the Red Ring at the end of his series with issue 40. But he was with the Red Lanterns, and then he's here with the Red Lanterns, but mysteriously his mustache and beard's gone, and or his crazy Sons of Anarchy goatee is gone, and he's back as a Green Lantern, but he's still bossing the Red Lanterns around a bit. It's kind of weird, but at least I got Guy Gardner. Cool, awesome, and I'm ready for the last issue. I'm ready for all the shit hit the fan this issue, and I'm ready for what is next, what is going to happen with issue 8. I'm actually, it's going to be probably the first thing I read next week when it comes out, because I don't know. I just really want to see what happens. And June sounds cool. Of these Convergence tie-ins this week, the only ones I really liked that I want to talk about is Guy Gardner's Green Lantern Corps, where he arm wrestles Hercules, and he does like all Sly Stallone over the top. It was phenomenal. Titans, the Wolfman Perez era Titans, great. And Swamp Thing, you got Lynn Wein on Swamp Thing and Kelly Jones drawing it, and you got Vampire Batman for Kelly Jones fans. So that's just pitch perfect, awesome. As far as the backups, the only things I was really kind of excited about of the backups this week was Damian, Robin, son of the Batman, which seems like it's, again, the Johnny Quest type vibe, Stanley and his Monsters type vibe. And I don't know, some of the continuing series look kind of cool. Damian's joining Gotham Academy. That has a lot of story potential. And The Martian Manhunter was pretty cool with those 8 pages. So I don't know, DC June, gonna have to win me over, DC, because Convergence kind of, I love you guys, I love your characters, but yeah, that didn't really do much for me. But this issue, Parallax was awesome too. So if you're a Parallax fan or Hal Jordan fan of that era, that'll be awesome for you. Image, Witches #6. This is the final issue of the first story arc with Snyder and Jock, and it was ridiculously scary. It was horrific. This was just so freaking creepy, and the resolution of this issue was unexpected to me. Like, it had a few things that were kind of like, I should have seen that coming. I should have seen that coming. I obviously should have seen that coming, but the end was not what I expected, and it had all that horror craziness, but also a whole lot of heart, a whole lot of family stuff, a whole lot of marriage and children dynamic put through this horrific ringer, and Snyder did a brilliant job on it. So if you're getting 1 through 5, I don't have to sell you on 6, obviously. If you didn't, get that $10 volume 1 when it comes out. I will be promoting the hell out of that. Captara, this time Zdarsky's book is subtitled The Road Less Traveled by Cat Tanks. And I guess that's cool that they're not doing like the same joke again, a space why you gotta be like that, and Keith, Prince of the Dance Floor. Now he's basically Keith the Coward. He doesn't want to go back and save Earth with some of the characters from Captara, because what Earth ever do for him? They were all just like mean and nasty to him. Why should he care? This place is pretty sweet. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I laughed out loud. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying how, like, on one level, the whole thing's kind of like a satire of He-Man Master of the Universe, but on another level, you know, it's just really fun and its own unique read. But I am picking up the He-Man stuff a lot. So if you're a He-Man fan and you have a good sense of humor, get it, seriously. Otherwise, you just need a good sense of humor. Optic Nerve 13, Adrian Tomine. This dude, I've been reading his books since I was in high school in like '95, and only 14 issues come out. We're lucky if we get one a year, obviously, because I'm up on my 20th high school reunion this year. But he continuously innovates, and this issue, like, you've heard of the 9-panel grid. This one has basically a 20-panel grid on every page, and it's super dense, super emotional, and I loved it. And you don't have to read anything before it or after it. It's one and done. If you want something dense, gritty, emotional, human, just not cleaned up raw emotions, try Optic Nerve. It's great. If you want something fun and ridiculously violent, Archie vs. Predator, this second issue upped it so much. There's so much depth. There's so many skulls ripped out and just spinal cords and blown off legs. And these are characters. These are iconic Archie characters dying in the most horrific way. But with this art style, you know, it's kind of cool. Just head blowed up and eyeball sitting on a cake, and then Jughead's eating the cake. Like, what's wrong with you, Jughead? You need help. But Sabrina's in here. Her cat's in here. There's a scene that's much like Mars Attacks, that trading card. Really great stuff. If you were not reading Archie vs. Predator because you thought it was going to be kind of a play it safe kind of dumbed down thing, it's not. It's super fun and ridiculously violent. But violent in a way that obviously it's not for kids, but it's lighthearted, which is weird to say about violence. I laughed and I enjoyed it. Jim and the Holograms, I'm reading this for Sophia's art. Sophie Campbell's art is just, that is the reason to read this book. And, you know, I just wish that he wrote it too and was the creative director on that movie coming out, because I don't know. Like, I honestly would get it even if it was just an art book of just like her drawing pictures of just those characters over and over again. That would be fun. And finally, this was really funny. It's Max Bemis, who is, you know, the dude from that band, and he's done those books that you may or may not have read. But Oh, Killstrike is, I don't want to say a love letter to the 90s, because it's kind of like hate mail to the 90s, but it was hilarious. You have this dude Killstrike that basically, it's one of Liefeld's comics from the 90s. Not officially, not actually Killstrike. Could be Bloodstrike, or it really could be anything. Any publisher did, like Bloodwind or whatever the hell. But he just wants vengeance. He's huge with tiny feet. He has lots of pouches and knives. And the book was so bad that so many people threw it away or wiped their ass with it that it's actually worth a lot of money on eBay. So our protagonist goes to his house to find that book to sell it to pay his mortgage or whatever the hell. And he's been talking so much shit about this comic and this character, and then the character comes out of the comic. And it's like, seriously, would you talk shit to that character in real life? No, you would shit your pants in real life. Because though he has no depth and no personality and no real backstory and no real motivation, he is a scary dude. So if any of this does something for you, if you want something that revisits the 90s in a ironic way that is funny, get it. Because I was sold just based on the title and the concept, and then I really enjoyed it. So, Killstrike by Boom, Max Bemis, get it. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.